You die once and suddenly you're not invisible. Explore the story of Heed, who was a corpse for a while but is back to life and trying to learn about just what had happened, only to discover the story is far stranger than that. Inspired by manga, Alter X Artifact is a new LGBTQ+ webcomic for mature readers revolving around magic and political espionage. This comic features fantastic elements, gripping storytelling, and impressive visuals that pull you into the strange but fascinating world of the comic. Alter X Artifact explores themes of magic, dreams, and relationships, all while deftly weaving a compelling mystery with eye-catching visuals. You're still in time to enjoy the exciting prologue as well, but you gotta hurry over on to the website. So, if you're looking for your next weekly webcomic read, you need to go to alterxartifact.com. That is alterxartifact.com. Now back to the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Supernatural Selection. I'm your host, Kevin the Bastard. With me this week is a completely different crew of people. I am not getting rid of Mike and David, but this week I have got some special guests to talk about a special area close to their hearts in some cases. This week we have got Kick-Assatron.
Yo.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
I am doing well. I am awake and alive on a Sunday. That says a lot.
I am sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And we also have Ruth Ann. Ruth Ann, how are you today?
Hello, I'm doing well and also awake and alive. So, good day, good day.
Always a plus. You're currently the queen of the podcast, by the way, thanks to your Patreon donations. So
I'm a spooky queen.
I'm
a
queen.
Supernatural queen. I love this.
You are Enrique's consort at the moment.
Oh my. Oh my.
Yeah.
I have to, what are my royal duties? I'm going to have to make a list.
I'm just going to warn you, he is moist with a hint of mucus. He's a frog.
I think I'm going to stay up north for now.
There you go. That's a good
separately.
plan. That's a good plan. Yeah, trial separation. And we have Dart from Texas. Dart, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Awesome.
Just chilling.
Yeah. And these are some of my friends from Spooky Dice Bag. You may be familiar with the show. We have got a link more or less permanently at the moment in the show notes. So trying to get people to listen.
Come play with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. So this week we're going to be talking about the Bridgewater Triangle, which I'm vaguely familiar with. Now, some of you guys are from that area, correct?
Yes, I grew up right around there.
Woo!
I'm in like the broader area, yeah.
Okay, very cool. And Texas is nowhere near Massachusetts, so Dart is here with me as an outsider.
According to my sources.
Yes. So I pulled up the Wikipedia article on it, and let me make a few points about the Bridgewater Triangle before we get started. First off, you guys don't know how to draw a triangle.
No, not even kind of.
This is a very poorly constructed triangle at a very odd angle with no equal sides whatsoever. I believe that is called a dumbass triangle in geometry. Secondly, yep. I can't help but notice via the map that Bridgewater is outside of the Bridgewater Triangle.
Yeah, that's more of like a Boston rhombus. If you want to sell the spooky and sell the supernatural, I feel like triangle has to be involved, right?
Sure, yeah. It's just, Bridgewater being to the right of the triangle doesn't help. I noticed that Taunton is dead center on the thing.
Thank you for being the only podcast that has said Taunton correctly.
Well, thank you. I mean, I don't know how else what is it, Taunton?
Taunton. Taunton.
Yeah, we're going to cut open a Taunton, and we're going to stick you inside to keep you warm until...
keep you warm.
Yep. till Han gets here. So, from what I understand, the Bridgewater Triangle is sort of a, I think John Keel would refer to it as a window area, which means that weird shit from the super spectrum tends to creep through.
Yeah, it has a history of being sort of one of those the vortex where you can
Right.
it's just a buffet of paranormal activity. You got stories. You got stories about Sasquatch. You got stories about UFOs,
Mm-hmm.
Puckwudgies, Thunderbird. I mean, you can just take your pick of the supernatural, and then the actual, which is the multiple, the maximum security prison we have, the Institute for the Criminally Insane, the Taunton State Hospital. It is a lot.
The asylum that became luxury condos.
Yep. It's an amount that would make, if you put it all in a horror movie and told the history, you'd be like, that's too much. They took too many steps, too many big beats.
Now,
it doesn't make sense.
Would that be
way too many cliches at once?
Would that be the Taunton State Hospital?
Yes, Taunton State Hospital.
Right.
But I think really the big stuff that I heard most about is it begins with the King Philip's War.
Yes.
Where just utter atrocities.
Yeah.
Just utter atrocities. But the one, I'm sorry if I'm talking too much. If anybody has any other stories on this, this is the one I've heard.
Is this about the Wampum Belt?
Yes, the Wampum Belt.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Oh, no. You know more about it than I do. I just know that there was a thing called the Wampum Belt, which sounded, the first time I heard it, I was like, well, that sounds like some racist white people bullcrap, but apparently not. I don't know. But please, enlighten me.
Well, it was essentially the Wampum Belt. It was taken from the tribe leaders in the final execution during this war, and everyone believes that. Well, not everyone. My broad strokes. Many people believed in the mythos and the stories told that once it was removed, that's when all of this kind of vortex started to become amped up, like the battery, and it got woo. I mean, there's been stories of swamp gas level UFOs since the 1750s or something like that.
Right.
But that's, and people are saying if it were to ever be returned, even though I believe it was lost when they were trying to bring it back to England.
Yeah.
Maybe this would calm down.
So it's like the bottom of the ocean. I think we can do that.
Sure. Yeah. Just troll for a wampum belt made of, woven material that has obviously been disintegrated.
Let me check Etsy real quick, see if I can get one.
We can get one on Etsy for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Made by a white woman with dreads in the middle of Southern California.
I'm going to go on Fiverr and see if somebody can make us one out of human hair or something. And we'll just
Don't
chuck
forget
it.
the chicken bones.
Yeah, and we'll chuck it into the Hockomock Swamp and see if that helps. So it's got historical places and landmarks on the Wikipedia article. And it starts off with the Hockomock Swamp, which it says means the place where the spirits do dwell. And English colonizers called it Devil's Swamp. Alleged sightings here reported sightings include various flying creatures and ghosts.
Ghosts are the one I heard most commonly. I don't know about you, Kick-Ass.
I've heard I've heard a lot of UFO sightings. There were allegedly some satanic cults there back in the 80s.
There were satanic cults everywhere in the 80s, allegedly. So
yeah, but I mean,
we actually, there was actually a famous case up there called, I believe it was Carl Drew. He was a self-proclaimed son of Satan who killed 3 women, and said he was a son of Satan worshiper. That this man was absolutely buck wild. He was insane. So he kind of went with he was like a budget Manson, like Dollar Tree Charles Manson,
Dollar Store
Charles Manson.
There you go.
Horrible atrocities, but that was one of our area's
biggest
satanic panic areas. Yeah, I mean, we have we have a hospital for the criminally insane. I'm
Yeah,
not
okay, that's
shocked
fair.
these horrible things happen.
Well, I mean, down here, if somebody said there's a satanic cult, it's because somebody broke into the abandoned house and wrote White Snake on the wall. So, I tend to take claims of satanic cult to be, it was a satanic panic. Mom found somebody's D&D books. The end. So it's kind of interesting to hear, like, no, this dude was out of his mind. Okay, that's interesting. Now, the flying creatures, I'd love to find out more about that. It doesn't actually really cite any. I'm going to guess it's like Jersey Devil type stuff and like UFOs. I don't know.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ruth.
No, I was just gonna. The Thunderbird is the one I've heard the most, and the Pukwudgie are the other two.
Okay, first off, the Thunderbird, we're going to actually do one. We just started our series on American cryptids. And we're going to talk about the Thunderbird and the famous pterodactyl/Thunderbird photo. Have you guys heard about that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I see Dart shaking his head. Let me explain. There was allegedly a photo from the 1800s of these Civil War era guys with what they said was a Thunderbird nailed up on the side of a barn. And it was a pterodactyl. And paranormal researchers are always talking about, no, dude, I saw that photo. I remember it. It was in such and such issue of such and such magazine. But you go back and look in the magazine, and it's gone. It's not there. There is no photo in that article. But we all remember
like a
seeing
Mandela
it.
effect?
Exactly. It's like a Mandela effect. And the bad thing is, I remember the photo. When I was in junior high, I remember seeing the photo in a book we had in our library. And I've gone back and looked up that book. Guess what? No photo.
Ooh,
Who's
that's
hiding that
unsettling.
shit?
My theory, the Men in Black, but that's when we do Mandela, that's one of the things. Time traveling Men in Black solving time crimes. But like, yeah, no, we're definitely going to talk about the Thunderbird / pterodactyl, whatever, however you want to go with
That's
it.
good.
So-
So good.
In
Yeah.
the area of the Hockomock Swamp, I do remember somebody mentioning like a 7-foot tall flying Bigfoot creature that the police looked for
Bat Squatch.
in like the 70s. Yeah, Bat Squatch.
Squad.
Oh yes. Oh man, that's what it was. Bat Squatch. Awesome. Okay.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a Bat Squatch. That was
Yeah. Oh man, I love Bat Squatch. We need to look. Mothman's made a comeback. We need Bat Squatch to make a comeback. I want a shirt
Yeah,
that
there's
says "Bat Squatch ate my entire ass at a Burger King."
It's Boston, so at the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot.
the Dunkin' Donut.
Wait,
The
if
good
it's
Dunkin'
Boston,
Donuts, not the bad one.
he ate my ass under the sick ghost sign.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think another thing people need to remember about the Bridgewater Triangle, it's a very populated area. This is not an
Yeah.
isolated. There is all of these batshit things that we talk about are happening
Okay.
across the street from an Applebee's. This
Okay. So this
is
isn't.
for locals.
So this isn't like the Pine Barrens where there's like nobody around except for like
No.
sugar sand and cranberries.
So, like, to an outsider, I think, like, to an outsider, Taunton would be like a part of Boston, quote unquote. I mean, is it that close? I know it's like
No,
in
it's
that
not
area.
that
No, it's
close.
not that close.
It's similar. It's not.
I'm looking.
It's
Yeah, I'm looking at
it's
the map.
southeast of Boston. I'd say if you drive about an hour, and that'll get you
Oh, is that?
to Taunton.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the wrong map.
No
Okay.
worries.
I guess Braintree is near Boston.
Yes, Braintree
Okay.
is one of our train stops, so I would consider that a suburb. I'm gonna get yelled at by Bostonians for this, but I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is Cambridge. Let me get yelled at. Cambridge is a part of Boston.
I'm
Screw
pretty
you
sure
guys.
you just got murdered.
Oh yeah, I'll wander off into the swamp, and somebody will consider me the redheaded ghost of, I don't know, the Route 44 fucking Red
Yeah.
Robin. Who cares?
Yeah. That's what
Another
they're gonna call
redheaded
you,
ghost
the
on the
redhead,
highway.
the Red Robin. Oh my God. So it also lists Freetown Fall River State Forest. Site of various cult activity, including animal sacrifice, ritualistic murder committed by admitted Satanists, as well as a number of gangland murders and a number of suicides. I'm guessing that would be dude.
That dude is amongst the number, I'm sure.
Okay.
But it's one of those self-fulfilling prophecies, right? You know,
Right.
when we get into this, oh, this is where the satanic things happen. Kids are going and spray painting 666
Sure.
in there. And then also, not for nothing, if you are from Boston and need to get rid of a body, a bog's not a terrible decision. So
Yeah.
Been used for millennia.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
sure- I'm sure Whitey Bulger threw a couple in there.
Oh, probably. And, you know, that y'all heard about the bog bodies in the UK, right? That one that they
Oh, yeah.
pulled up and they're like, well, this is a murder body. And, like, the dude admitted to killing his wife. And then and it was like, yep, that's her. And then they examined the body and it turned out to be, like, 3,000 years old.
Ooh,
Yeah, they
whoops.
preserve pretty well in the bog.
Yeah. And dude was like, fuck.
How long ago did I do that?
You found the
man.
time machine, god damn it. So,
Shit.
uh,
I almost had it if it wasn't for those meddling archaeologists.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got their own van that says the Mystery Solver. Oh, God. So I see this one listed here, Profile Rock. The supposed
Profile rock.
Oh,
the
yeah.
supposed site of where Wampanoag historical figure, I am, you know, that's
Oh,
me like-
Wampanoag.
Wampanoag historical figure Anawan received the lost wampum belt from Philip. Legend has it, the ghost of a man can be seen sitting on the rock with his legs crossed or with outstretched arms, located within the Freetown Fall River State Forest. And there's a nice picture of it from a postcard, and let me tell you, it looks kind of like it's gonna just crawl up out of the dirt and kill some people.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
actually one of that rock is one of the ones that friends of mine have gone and tried to, not exactly like spirit hunt, but just to see what you get out there. And
Sure.
the most they got was someone settling footsteps, which could be animal, or unsettling footsteps outside is always a little iffy, but
Yeah.
essentially we're sitting as close as you could get to it. Their state, if you recall, this is a state
Park,
forest.
yeah.
So state park. So
Yeah.
They're after hours, as you shouldn't be. I won't drop names. You all are lucky I'm not
Right.
doing that. That they said that they were sitting around there and it just sounded like somebody was running in circles around them for like a solid 30 seconds and then just stopped. I'm like, well, and they're like, it did not sound like a coyote or something like that. Because if you were being circled by an animal, they wouldn't just stop.
Right.
You'd hear running away or you'd be having a bad day.
Yeah.
Unless
I
it
don't
was
know.
a really confident predator.
That's true.
Or, and hear me out here. Yeah, I was gonna say, or it's other ghost hunters.
The scariest thing of all, turf wars amongst ghost hunters.
We got beef.
All looking for that elusive bat squatch.
It's Zach Bagans out there with a cudgel.
I want them to show up to Boston so fucking bad. Not just like the Lizzie Borden house where everybody goes to tourism.
Right.
I want them to have to deal with actual Bostonians because that man would be stomped into the ground.
Yeah, that's. Yeah. I mean, Nick's from New England,
Yes.
from the older
Okay.
seasons of. Yeah. I know he left.
Interesting.
Mhm.
I had a chance to meet Zach Bagans at Dragon Con, and I did not take that chance because it was Zach Bagans.
I just,
Okay.
how much is a bit? He's got to know. He's got to know.
Well, y'all know about what happened with the Dybbuk box, right?
No,
He
No,
bought
I
the
don't think I
Dybbuk
do.
box,
I remember that.
and
Oh, yes.
he scared the shit out of Post Malone with it, and Post Malone became convinced he was possessed via the Dybbuk box. And it turns out the Dybbuk box was made by an artist, and it's all bullshit.
Yep.
And Zach Bagans will not admit this. because it is the centerpiece to his museum in Vegas.
Oh God.
So,
I'm going to ruin something for everybody because I'm really good at that. If you watch Ghost Adventures and his voiceover, that the words he uses are just a little off. It's mind-boggling.
yeah.
His turns of phrase, because it's as if he would take a thesaurus, and you know how there's like if you go 4 or 5 words down, there's one that's technically correct, but it's not quite right. Go listen to any of his voiceovers. There'll be at least 2 or 3 times that you're like, that doesn't mean quite what I think you think it means.
That's fine.
He definitely has like the teenager trying not to get caught with perjury or not perjury.
Plagiarism.
Yes, cheating. Plagiarism.
Yeah,
Trust
plagiarism.
me, David, my co-host, is extremely familiar with that, thanks to him being a teacher in a writing class. So
plagiarism.
yeah.
Make sure he knows about that, and then he'll absolutely lose his mind.
Knows. He watches all those shows that guy does. Personally, I thought you meant like I don't really watch it, but like I assume he's like, let me tell you, at that point it was getting a little hot under the cholera.
Honestly, it's very similar. It's the concept of the egg corn, where you say like the espresso instead of espresso because express means fast. That is the type of. Sorry, I'm way off topic, but yeah.
No, it's fine. It's that's the whole point of this episode. So Kick Astron just found us a wampum belt. So
no.
Yeah,
I'm looking.
That's the best I could find.
Anybody have any critiques of this wampum belt other than it being kind of butt ugly?
It looks like typical like beadwork.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the wampum belt of legend. This
No.
just looks like
$175.
That's not even a long belt for $175.
no.
Lord.
I'm a pass.
Yep.
So next on the list of historic places is Solitude Stone.
Solitude Stone.
An inscribed stone located near Forest Street in West Bridgewater, which was found near a missing person's body. Also known as Suicide Stone, the rock was found with the inscription, "All ye who in future days walk by..." Oh, I'm going to fuck this one up. Nunkataset Stream?
Nunkasonic? Hold on.
Yes,
I
that's
need
it.
to
That's
look at
it.
Yeah. Massachusetts, not the place to have to sound out
Nope.
names.
Nope.
Oh, sorry.
Love not him who hummed his lay cheerful to the parting beam, but the beauty that he wooed. I have no idea what that means.
Zero
No
clue.
one knows.
Anybody want to try to translate that?
Can you copy and paste that into the chat?
Yeah.
I have to read it, I think.
I'm going to get a local to read that, and maybe it'll make sense if you do it with a Boston accent. I don't know.
I actively suppress it. Let's see how it goes.
Hang on one
If you listen to Spooky Dice Bag, you'll hear episodes where I get so mad. I slip back into it. All ye who in future days walk by Nunkakaset stream, love not him who hummed his lay cheerful to the parting beam, but the beauty that he wooed. Huh.
Is that like a juggalo thing?
It's a juggalo thing. It has to be.
definitely.
That he woo-wooed!
What year was this?
It did not say. I assumed it was like in the 70s, but apparently it was the 1770s or something.
Is it about hanging yourself? The parting beam? What a terrible
Can
movie. Oh God.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Love not him who hummed his lay cheerfully to the parting beam.
I mean, a lay, that's like hummed his lay. That's like humming
like
a
his
song.
girlfriend?
No.
Jesus.
Becky is a whore. No, I don't think that's what it was.
Cheerful to the parting beam.
Well, drop into the Discord of
Yep.
Supernatural Selection and give us your interpretation of this.
Yep.
Because
Discord.supernatpod.rocks. Let us know what you think it is, because we're fuggered.
what would you put on a Boston rock in your supernatural world? Let's see.
Yeah. Hey, back off, fucker. No, that's what I would put.
I'm
Got it.
shilling for your fucking podcast, my dude.
Yeah. So, Bridgewater State University. Several buildings and rooms on campus are alleged to be haunted by ghosts and other paranormal phenomenon. None.
None.
No. Oh, come on. Oh my God. Bridgewater State you're more likely to get haunted by ghosts of previous alcohol poisoning than anything else.
Nice.
Oh,
Did you go there?
I I almost did, and then opted for UMass Boston, both of which are decisions to be made. And though I have been in many a dorm hangout back in the day in Bridgewater State, and
Okay.
there are some, mythos, but it's mostly the classic college mythos, the built on top of indigenous land. Racist
You moved the
decisions.
bodies, but you moved the headstones, but you didn't move the bodies.
The bodies. Oh no.
Again. Oh my
There's-
God.
Kids just watching static on TV to get like some sort of a message from the other world.
Yeah.
And all they did is buy mushrooms from Craig down the hall.
Can you imagine like trying to make that movie today? It's just a kid staring at a black screen that says no input.
Oh,
They're
modern update.
here.
Idea.
Yeah. Oh yeah, let's have more cast members die in a movie. That's a great idea.
Seriously.
So after that is Taunton State Hospital. Some visitors have claimed that they had strange paranormal experiences in the hospital, including being touched and pulled in certain areas of the hospital. It is also claimed that the hospital was used by satanic cults during the 60s and 70s.
But what wasn't used by satanic cults in the 60s and 70s?
Seriously.
Coke.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah.
That's fair. So, any stories about that you can share?
Let's see. The ones I have most about these are friends breaking into old buildings, as one does. I'm going to say friends generally, just to really
Associates.
distance myself.
Mhm.
Taking pictures and finding. I know one group that found some old files in a busted up filing cabinet with some names. And it was a very bizarre experience to see these handwritten onion skin pieces of paper just documenting those unfortunate people in there. And there are some corresponding like dates to when people think that some of the ghostly activity were to happen.
Okay.
And really, that's just a HIPAA violation. And that's
Yeah.
the scariest part. Yeah, I think at one point some Bridgewater State friends saw, they have seen some odd things, like just the sort of out of the glimpse of your eye, like the white, there's the white dress lady, I think.
Oh,
Can't remember
yeah.
what she's called.
Yeah, it's a white dress lady.
The white dress lady is the one that most commonly comes up that I've
And then
seen.
there's a redheaded lady too.
There's the redheaded. That's just me, but the redheaded.
No.
The red.
You just happened to be in there at the time.
Listen, yep, I'm just high school me taking pictures in there, ducking real fast.
Yep.
Dressed like Stevie Nicks, that whole thing. The Route 44 redheaded hitchhiker, I think, might be the one that we're mixing.
That's the
up
one I'm
with.
thinking of. Yeah.
All right. I don't know if you guys have Sonic up there, the burger place.
No.
It's like an old school
so. I
car
do.
hop. Okay, great. All right. So Sonic is like a car hop. You pull up, you hit the button,
Yeah.
you order off the menu, and somebody comes out with roller skates and brings you your food.
Oh,
And,
that's amazing.
Their giant-sized drink is called a Route 44. So I'm like, Route 44, cherry vanilla white dress ghost. It was the first
Vanilla
thing I
white
came-
lady.
Yeah, I'd like a cherry vanilla ghost.
Why have we not started a diner that is straight up supernatural themed?
Well, Mike is currently working on. David had this idea that we're going to start doing like cocktails based on episode subjects.
Ooh.
There you
And
go.
Mike is currently working on a rum drink called the Havana Syndrome. So,
Oh my!
yeah, we'll see how that works. So if anybody has an idea for the jackalope,
Ooh, well, it's got to be melon liqueur in there.
does it?
Cantaloupe, jackalope.
Oh,
The Jack
right.
Cantaloupe.
And Jack Daniels. I was thinking Jack Daniels.
Yep,
There you go,
Midorian
Jack.
Jack Daniels.
Hey,
That's
There you
it.
go.
or DeKuyper
Oh.
melon liqueur, whichever.
Oh,
Hey, anything that takes away the taste of Jack Daniels is fine with me. So,
man.
last one on the historic places and landmarks is Hornbein School. The one-room schoolhouse was built during the 1840s and remained in active use until 1937. The building is alleged to be haunted by its former inhabitants, which, who the fuck lives in a schoolhouse? A one-room schoolhouse.
Well, all teachers have a sleeping bag under the desk, right? They just live at the school. That's what
Yeah.
all.
Now, that's these
toddlers
days
remember.
because we won't fund education.
That's true.
Not to get
Yeah.
political, but... but yeah,
it's hard when it's talking about New England because ghosts are just a nuisance. It's not even a topic of conversation anymore. Everywhere
Really?
you go, you're like, yeah, there's a fucking pilgrim in the basement. I just want to fix my electrical box, and there's a fucking pilgrim.
And he keeps screaming witchcraft at me.
But in what language?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This woman in a fucking corset
here.
woman in a corset keeps calling me a fucking whore. You can't vote. Let me be.
You can't vote.
That's a
Let me
good
live my life.
question. Do new laws apply to old ghosts?
That's a good question.
Are ghosts voting? Is all the voter fraud
Is it ghosts?
I mean,
Ghost in the machine.
That's
Ghost in the
Again-
voting machine, yes.
not to get political, but that's where all of the voter fraud that they actually found was.
Yeah, it was all dead Republicans.
It's all dead Republicans voting. So
Yep.
yeah.
That's
Yep,
what it
and
was.
People's dead pets. Snowball
Yep.
1 through 3.
Kitty bump, no.
Now it's personal.
Thank you for the Matt Groening references. It wouldn't be Supernatural Selection without those. So, we've got a section here for paranormal claims, which I'm guessing is claims of the paranormal and not places where people tried to dig up paranormal ore. So, common to most of these areas is a mix of reported phenomena that include reports of unidentified flying objects. It'll be UAPs when I'm dead. It's UFOs.
It's all
Not-
UFOs.
What is it? Not UFOs? You're not an UFO man?
You know what? There's a guy at work that does that, and I'm like,
Oops.
UAPs. I'll call them
UAPs.
UAPs because I hate UAPs, but it's UFO.
Correct.
But often in the form of bright balls of light or large, unusual spacecraft, which, that's the two kind there are.
Yep, that's it.
Here's the thing. The solid crafts are interesting. The balls of light are the ones that I think may be part of the super spectrum. That's just me. That's stuff coming in through the open window that is the Bridgewater fucked up triangle.
Yeah, that is.
What's on the opposite side of the globe from the Bridgewater Triangle?
Probably the
Is it the
Australian...
Ryukyu?
The what?
Is it Ryukyu?
I don't know.
I guess no. I think no. That's in the northern hemisphere.
Probably something in Australia that looks like a butthole.
Or that.
Yeah, it's the Australian chocolate starfish.
Oh,
All right, so that's terrible. Actually, that's a good question, though. I think I need to actually kind of look that up. Next is unnatural animal sightings, ranging from unusual reports of animals that are not found within the area, such as panthers and bears, to more supernatural claims of giant snakes and enormous vicious dogs. You guys know anything about those?
I remember talk of like a panther at one point, like a black panther, like you guys are seeing down in Mississippi.
Yeah.
We have I know there's even in New Hampshire there's talk of like mountain lions that don't quote unquote officially exist in the state.
Right.
but like people have seen that. So I don't know if you guys have them officially in Massachusetts or not, but
We don't have them officially, but that also is another. All
it's
these
one of
myths.
those
The big
it-
snake. I've heard the big snake a couple
big
times.
Really?
snakes. Yeah.
Mhm. The
Well, we
giant
have we
snake is
have
scare.
we have smaller snakes that can survive the winters, so I don't see, and we have like amphibians and stuff around here that can survive the New England winters. I don't see why.
Sure, yeah.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if there were. I doubt they would survive, but there have been in our area surrender days at different organizations that take animals, which is I have been at and are buck wild. People will bring in like small monkeys and things like that they shouldn't have. And there is I'm being very careful with my wording because I know some organizations don't want to be connected to what they do with that, but there is one in that area. So I always wonder if there were just a few that slipped a cage and are doing great.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I doubt it. Our winters are hell, but still.
sure, but it's possible.
Mhm.
Maybe not
Yeah.
probable, but possible.
Exactly.
Now,
Well, yeah, this isn't really Bridgewater, but like we used to have a zoo down the street from me. And there were like rumors that like one of the tigers got out one time.
oh, that's way better than what we had. We had we had this island in the center of a man-made lake in the zoo, surrounded by a fence, and it was called Monkey Island because they had all the monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
And people kept throwing lit cigarettes out there, and the monkeys would smoke the lit cigarettes, and they
Oh God.
all died of lung cancer and emphysema.
That's awful.
Oh my
I
God.
know.
That's horrible.
Welcome to Jacktown, everybody. We can't have nice things because we gave monkeys cancer.
And that's why they won't fix your water.
You know, that's a good guess.
Oh God.
I'm willing to take that. So, apparently there are also paranormal humanoids, including sightings of Bigfoot, ghosts, poltergeists, and shadow people.
Ooh, shadow people's the big one.
I like the shadow
Really?
people.
That the route of highway that you drive. So I do have a bit of a personal, like more of a time slip story.
Ooh.
I don't know if people want to hear that, but
Yeah, no, definitely
Oh yeah,
for
go
it.
ahead.
but the shadow one it's such a long. I worry that some of it's like highway hypnosis, but you'll regularly get like, I was driving down Route 44, and then all of a sudden, fucking somebody on the side of the road came darting out, and then it was nothing. Like that's a story you will hear a fair
Yeah.
amount. But this one was about. So it's a little off tangent from that, but a friend of this concept of time slips, if people don't know, are almost it can be either you jump into another time period for a short period of time,
Or something else jumps into our time from another time.
Exactly. Right. So I'm using this loosely. Me and one of my best friends, complete non-believer in all of this, and I'm only on the fence. We were driving from Rehoboth through to Easton, which, if you know the area, that is just straight across that triangle. And we didn't really think about it. It's not a thing you think about too much. And as we're driving, it was like maybe 6 p.m., 7 p.m. on a Friday. And as we're driving and chatting, we suddenly just have that eerie kind of silence with ourselves. And we both get that kind of uncomfortable feeling. And my friend turns to me, she's like, is it just me or something feel like off? Like, yeah, it's a little weird. I don't understand, the street lights are out. That's weird. So as we were driving through the street, none of the street lamps were on. And we were driving, like I said, it's a fairly populated area. There's long stretches with houses. And as we're driving, we noticed there's no porch lights on. There's nobody walking around. And so we're like, this is just weird. It just happens, maybe, but people should be home from work, right? This is not normal. It's fine. I need to stop and get gas anyway. We're driving through and we get to a little area with a couple of bars, a convenience store, the convenience store and the gas station. I go to pull into the convenience store which is next to the gas station, and all of the lights are bright and on and there's not a fucking soul. There are cars. There are also, like, there's everything that would indicate there are people shopping. Nobody there. And we are both now having this sort of wildly discomfortable feeling of like something's wrong. Like, was there, like, it's as if people were raptured or there was an air raid siren and everybody's in a basement. It was getting that kind of oppressive feeling. So I'm like, I need to get gas. There's no way around that. Pull up and I go to the pump and I had cash. I really wish I hadn't. I had to go in and I'm just standing there and I'm like, hi, hello, is anybody in here? I don't see anyone. My friend's locked the door of the car. She is not the friend to bring with you into the haunted house because that bitch is tripping you. I love her to death. She's tripping you to survive. So I'm like, well, she's like, come back. Like, she's like, I'd cut and run. Let's get out of this. And at the time, we weren't even thinking about the Bridgewater Triangle. This is just where we lived. This is not the concept. I straight up go and knock on the like employees only break room door. Like, it has to be somebody on a smoke break. There can't be nobody here. Open it, no one's there. I'm like, all right, nope, you know what? I can make it a little further. I know there's another gas station. I left. We drive by a bar. There was nobody there. And this drive should have taken us about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. If I mentioned that it was about 6 p.m. We cross over the line into Easton, running on fumes, by the way. I was like, we're gonna either run out of gas here and then the ghosts will kill us, or I'm gonna make it to the next gas station and we can decompress in a TJ Maxx. I don't know what to do. So we crossed over the line into Easton. If you look at the map, that's just past where we need to be. And it's like somebody just snapped, turned on the radio again. It was, the white noise was back. It was turned off. It was all of a sudden, there's people driving. The other thing was there were no cars passing us. There was on the other side. All of a sudden there are cars, street lights. So, people are walking around, other convenience store. I go to the gas station, chatting like normal, whatever. And we just kind of take a minute and sit there. When I pull into this gas station, we're like, that wasn't normal. There's no way that was a thing that happened. We're like, we're being paranoid. And my friend's eyes go wide and she's like, damn, what time is it? I'm like, oh, we left at like 6:30. It's probably, I look at it and it is 8:30.
Holy crap.
It was 8:30 p.m. And we were under no substances. It's a weird thing that happened and we don't know why. There's no real major explanation for how this happened until we started talking to one of our friends. They're like, where were you again? It's like, oh, we're going from Rehoboth. They're like, you were in the middle of the Bridgewater Triangle, my friend. We're like, oh, fuck. Really? Shit, I forgot. Just because this is like, you go to Market Basket in the Bridgewater Triangle.
Yeah.
Get your food. Like, this is just a normal thing. So yeah, that's my big Bridgewater Triangle story is I don't know if that was, because nobody talks about if you time slip to like 1994, you know what I mean? Where you wouldn't entirely notice. They talk about 1870.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's my personal Bridgewater Triangle story.
That's crazy. That is what they call in the lore the Oz effect.
Interesting. I haven't heard that before.
And it's basically everything seems dead. And it honestly kind of reminds me of the Langoliers a little bit.
Really? That is interesting. I don't really know that.
Oh, yeah. The Langoliers, the Stephen King story where the plane, everybody wakes up and there's only like 6 people left on the airplane and the airport seems completely abandoned, but like everything people had is still there.
Oh.
And then these big things with buzzsaw teeth show up to eat that. They're stuck at like 5:06 p.m.
Fucking
They're
Stephen
in
King.
that 1 minute. They're stuck in that 1 minute, and then these things with buzzsaw mouths show up and start eating that minute. And we're not aware of them because we're moving along in regular time.
That is... Oof.
So glad you got away from the Langoliers.
Thanks. I shouldn't have gone into that convenience store.
No.
Everybody agrees on that one.
Nope. That was Actually, I'm glad you did, because that's a great part of the story. Yeah,
Oh.
I never want to go through a time slip. It just sounds... because here's the other thing, is if you're going through a situation like that, you know what you're probably experiencing as well as just general Oz effect? you're not being bombarded by cellular radiation.
Oh, interesting.
And
I
the
hadn't thought
normal
to check my
electric
phone,
hum,
actually.
you're not being bombarded by the things we're normally surrounded by. You're in a bubble of nothing,
Mhm.
no time. So
The other effect that we know, like this was a lot of when you go through, maybe you're in a car accident or something like major like that,
Mhm.
where you're in that shock and
Oh,
you don't know what
yes.
to do, and then you start remembering details post once you sort of
Mhm.
the fear melts away. We were chatting after, kind of like, this is real, like we both experienced this, right? Because we realized we weren't talking. We
Mhm.
turned off the radio. We
Mhm.
think we turned off the radio. There was no music playing anymore. We were so focused in on that hyper vigilance of something being wrong that we just couldn't comprehend anything else. So I didn't even check my cell phone to see if I had battery or
Right.
reception. It was a very weird experience that is probably one of the most paranormally things I could say.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's terrifying, and I would love to have that happen to me. As long as I can drive out of it, I'd love
I
for
should have
that to
grabbed
happen
some
to me.
Funyuns on the way out because nobody would have given a shit.
Yeah, who's gonna
store.
know? And then you get there, you open the bag, and it like Thanos's away.
The girl from The Ring just starts crawling out of the Funyun bag.
7
God.
days. Yeah. Oh Lord. So we also have thunderbird sightings. Giant birds or pterodactyl-like flying creatures with wingspans up to 12 feet are claimed to have been seen in Hockomock Swamp and neighboring Taunton and Easton, including a report by Norton Police Sergeant Thomas Downey.
I can't remember the police report. I've heard the police report of the Sasquatch from like the like late 70s.
Yeah.
Two cops thought there was a Sasquatch rocking their car.
I've heard that story, actually. I think they talked about it on last podcast on the left when they did the Bridgewater Triangle. But yeah, they didn't really talk about the Thunderbird. And I'm actually really interested in it because that's like most native cultures seem to have a story about a giant goddamn bird. And I know I'm descended from Choctaw, and my great-grandmother told me stories about that, and she talked about, when she was putting me to bed, she was sending me to the sleepy house. I'm like, what's that? And she's like, don't you worry about the sleepy house.
Oh, God.
I'm like, as normal for me, now as an adult, I'm like, the fuck is a sleepy house? Do I want to go to the sleepy house? What the fuck?
Yeah, but
No, I was gonna say that just sounds like somewhere you send your dog upstate.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. We sent Kevin to the sleepy house. He had rabies. What were you going to say, Kick-Ass John?
Yeah, are you familiar with the paranormal researcher Joseph DeAndrade?
I'm not, actually. I'm sure David is, but I'm not.
Yeah, that's the DeAndrade. DeAndrade.
Okay, let me see if I can actually get my shaking hands to stop shaking. Let's see here. What can we learn about him?
He's got like a...
Oh, found his obituary.
Yeah, it looks like he died last year.
Son of a...
Oh.
Yeah, actually, everything leads back to Bridgewater. It all pretty much goes back to his obituary in this Wikipedia article. I'll have to get David to dig deeper. He's got all the academic information.
Yeah, because that's he did some of that research into the in 1978,
Right.
right around Hockomock Swamp. He claims to have seen the Bat Squatch creature or whatever it is.
Bat Squatch!
And he wrote about it in a 1997 book.
Okay. I've probably had that recommended to me several times because if Amazon knows one thing, it's the books I buy. That does remind me. So Mike and me have the same Amazon account. like not the same Amazon account, but we're both on the same Amazon Prime account. So I have access to the few books he's bought. And he recently logged back into Kindle and just had hundreds of books on the paranormal and weird shit. And he was like, the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, well, for every one episode of the show, there are like 10 books we can't do because it blames the Jews.
So
Yes.
often it funnels down to that horrible
It's
anti-Semitism.
just
And
yeah.
we have plans to do an episode called Leave the Jews Alone about the anti-Zionist conspiracies, and it just blows my mind.
They all come back to it.
It really does.
So many of these conspiracies are just like 6 degrees from Hitler. It's insane.
6
I mean,
degrees of Adolf.
Wasn't Hitler like obsessed with the like occult?
Yes.
He was.
Yes,
He was,
yes, he
yeah.
was. The Thule Society and all that stuff, which I don't know if I really want to talk about it in an episode, but like, there's a lot to talk about.
Mm.
And nowadays, it's a little touchy.
You know, everybody don't be racist, don't be anti-Semitic, be fucking cool, please.
Be cool, dudes.
Yeah.
It's so easy to be cool.
Get your anti-Semitism out of our paranormal research.
Yeah, this is the shitty kind of Reese's when you do that.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
peanut butter and shit.
Yep.
Don't be that guy.
It's that saying, if you got 5 pounds of ice cream and 1 pound of shit, and you mix them, you have 5 pounds of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Or 6 pounds. Yeah. Let's see. Cult activity, especially animal mutilations. Various Yes. Various incidents of animal mutilation have been reported, particularly in Freetown and Fall River, where local police were called to investigate mutilated animals believed to be the work of a cult. 2 specific incidents in 1998 were reported, one in which a single adult cow was found butchered in the woods, the other in which a group of calves was discovered in a clearing grotesquely mutilated as if part of a ritual sacrifice. Where were you guys in 1998?
Middle school.
Reading your
Yeah,
Dungeons and
also-
Dragons books.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, y'all
No,
were in
yeah,
middle school?
I'm 34, so I would have
Jesus
been in middle school. I think.
Christ, I was
Yeah.
working I was still in my first job.
Yeah,
Yeah. 19.
I gotta do math.
you gotta do math.
I gotta-
Dart's spoken 4 times in this, and one of them's to call me out on math.
Sorry.
1998. Yeah, it would have been 10. So yeah.
oh
like,
my God.
All right, I started high school in 2003. Shit. Yeah, so it's something like that. I was young. I would have been 10. I was born in the end of 88. I'm an idiot. fine. Anyway, I wasn't mutilating cattle. That's not a thing I was doing.
Okay.
No.
Dart, thank you for checking the math on that. I do appreciate it. Math consultant Dart is on the case. Seriously, though, we don't have a lot of, like, I'm smack dab in the middle of the Bible Belt, so we don't have a lot of actual satanic cults. We just have kids that are, like, really pissed off at their parents. So I'm always fascinated by the actual idea of people being like, yes, hail Satan, we must kill animals for Satan doesn't actually want you to do that. But
I mean, we have the Satanic Temple in Salem, Mass, but
yeah.
they are basically just they're fundamentally atheists.
Yeah, that's just jokey atheists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who want to keep like God out of the Pledge of Allegiance, which all the power to them for that.
Yeah. You know, it's fine. I don't have a problem with that. There's nothing wrong with being a Satanist. The problem is
People who want to do it for the clout.
yeah. Well, like here, I've known one Satanist in my life, one guy that was a Satanist. And I don't mean like a LaVeyan Satanist. I mean like a Temple of Set Satanist.
Sure.
And now he's a Nazi.
Yeah, that's something you got to run into with Satanist and pagan crowds. Is you got to be real careful that you don't turn into a Nazi.
Yeah, no, I mean he's trying to bring the Hitler mustache back. He's shaved his head. He wears the completely buttoned up leather trench coat.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he's about to ask Jones where the Grail diary is.
Yeah, like that's something that within the pagan community, especially the Norse pagan community, that
Oh, yeah.
you gotta really stand up and fight against that sort of shit.
Yeah, and there are people that come in our store with a lot of pagan like Norse.
Runes.
What's it called? The
Runes, bind runes.
yeah, the runes, but like the
staves, like the compass type
the
of thing.
like the actual religion of Norse mythology. It has like a name, and I can't remember what it is.
Asatru? Are you thinking?
Yes, something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, I don't know if you're into that or if this is a white supremacy thing.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in the South.
Yeah.
They have like, I mean, we can get into that.
Yeah. But I know what we got.
Yeah, like if they got the
We have a full stock of it that comes in the store.
yeah.
Oh, boy.
So
And let me tell you, do they love their scotch. Anyway.
yeah. So if you have like yeah, that image, that
It's
works
black to me.
perfectly well. Yeah, it is black. It looks like an X where the top is turned into a diamond.
Yes, I'm familiar with
And-
that one.
Yeah, so you get that, and then if on the bottom it's got two little wings that stick out to the side,
Uh-huh.
that is definitely a white supremacist symbol.
Okay. I wish I
Um,
hadn't saved that to my desktop. Thanks.
Yeah.
Good to
Those
know.
Yeah.
We have a lot of up in our area, we have a lot of really good pagan communities, and
Right.
it's just the dog whistles are, you gotta know them because there's so many to siphon out. And I think some of this is New England Gothic is a very real thing,
Mhm.
and that kind of
Yeah.
encompasses both that sort of creepy Lovecraft and Stephen King vibe, and then all of this supernatural sort of
Mhm.
feeling. It like I think it genuinely, New England Gothic can mess up your brain chemistry.
Yeah,
It definitely can. It's
Well,
something you
Southern
gotta be real
Gothic-
careful with.
definitely does because
Mm.
it kind of goes back to antebellum times, and we all know what was going on during that period.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the best movies of all time took place, Kevin.
Oh.
Think of all the good things that Gone with the Wind gave the world.
That one poster, that pretty
That-
dress, that
that
really
one-
pretty
that one
dress.
dress.
That one shot of her silhouetted against the sky saying she'll never go hungry again. That's
Yep,
the
that
only
one.
good thing to come out of that movie. So, the next thing it lists is Native American curses, which I'm always a little.
Yeah, I'm always
feel
with you
about
on those.
this. According to
Yeah, but
one.
the gypsy ones.
Oh, yeah, those
Oh,
are fine.
God,
man.
the slurs.
Yeah.
Oh
Mhm.
God,
Slurs.
Romani.
all of these things. When you hit Wikipedia, and you're just like,
Ooh.
let's dive in and see where we land.
Yeah. According to one tale, Native Americans had cursed the swamp centuries ago because of conflict with colonial settlers. I could buy that. A revered object of the Wampanoag people. Hey, see, I got it right that time.
Yeah, good job.
Wampanoag
There you
people. A belt known as the Wampum Belt
We've covered this. Yeah.
was lost during King Philip's War. Legend says that the area owes its paranormal unrest to the fact that the belt was lost from the Native American people. Which, sure. I mean, I do think it's like the magic native trope.
Mm,
A little bit, yeah.
yeah, if we really wanted, if this was actually the case, all we have to do is break up the British Museum and give everything back, and then the world will be calm.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's totally
Yeah, what
what's
if we
going to
just
happen.
tried that?
Yeah.
We should start a GoFundMe to do that.
Uh-huh.
Just buy all the stuff back
All
from
right, British Museum, we got
British Museum.
$45. What can
What
you
can
give
we get?
And more guns than you.
Yeah, which is a gun.
which is a gun.
I mean,
now.
we do have one person in this chat who's from Texas and another from Mississippi.
That's
so
true. I actually have, not to name names, but I have very close access to an AR-15 and 2 9mm right now, and they are not mine.
Oh no! Oh God!
I know someone with a rocket launcher.
You're
Oh,
the
hell
cool
yeah.
Dart.
There's
You're
a-
the
there's a-
coolest person I know now.
Yup.
there's a place like 30 minutes down the road from me in New Hampshire that does machine gun rentals.
What?
Rentals.
What's your address, sir?
Yeah, I'm real pissed off at my boss, but I don't want to spend a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't need it for too long.
Yeah, I don't plan to live long enough to keep it.
Yeah, what's the deposit on that? Because I feel like you're gonna get a lot of people that are gonna get those tons of goods.
Oh yeah.
You're getting the gun back. He's not gonna have it for long. I mean,
Yeah,
no,
it's gonna be
I
in
mean,
an evidence locker for the next 7 years.
well, the thing is about the gun thing, I don't know people that are, I wouldn't call them gun nuts. I just know people that are like fascinated by machinery and stuff, and guns are a machine, and they just like it. And honestly, I've been shooting. It's fun.
Yeah.
You know, I've been out to the range several times. I really think the Beretta is one of the finest handguns ever made. But, you know, that's me. I don't own one because I know what I'd eventually do when I'm in a bad mood. Because I have, fuck brain.
Same.
So, yeah.
I think we all met each other through the same like group.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, glad you're alive.
Glad you're alive. We're all spicy.
Glad you're
We all
alive.
spicy brains.
Yes.
I will side tangent. I have a musket, an active working musket in my home.
Yeah, but that you get by halfway through loading it, you've changed your mind.
That's okay. So yeah, my psychiatrist, when I first was doing intake with him, one of the questions is, "Do you have any guns in your home?" And I said, "Yes, because I do." And he got very concerned.
Uh-huh.
And I said, "Sir, I would need a step stool and a lot of time to think to get that thing in my face. So I think we're good."
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, they're locked up. There's no way I can get to them. The door weighs more than I do at this point. So there's no getting through it. I'm fine. Everything's fine. I don't want to worry people. I'm just saying I've got fuck brain.
Yep. Everybody drink your water, take your meds. We want you to keep listening to the podcast and existing in this world.
That's right.
Yep.
Unless you go through time slip.
Unless you go
Yeah.
through time slip.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then give Kevin a call.
Yes. Give me a call. I want to hear about it.
Morse code them, send a telegram, do whatever.
Smoke signals. Doesn't matter.
Send a Thunderbird from the woods to give
Tie
your
a stone
message.
tablets to its leg and send it to me. And then when
That
it
feels
drops
like-
the tablet, I'll die.
That feels like animal cruelty at this
Yeah.
point.
Well, it's a Thunderbird. It can carry a tablet.
That's fair.
Yeah. We're not talking about tying a tablet to a pigeon and dropping it off a boat.
I have always had beef with fantasy novels that's like tie a letter to an owl. You mean the world's slowest bird? That's animal cruelty. Give it to something else.
Yeah.
Give it to a
Yeah.
falcon.
I'm going to shove this note in the mouth of a sloth and hope it eventually gets to my parents.
Texting through messages in a bottle, all
I'm
that
just
fun
going to
stuff.
say, I noticed you were drinking something there, Ruth Ann, and unfortunately my funniest stuff comes out when someone's drinking something, so I apologize.
I almost drowned.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Drowned.
What a way to go.
So, after Native American curses, the last thing listed is something I don't personally have experience with, but our station manager on Deviant Behavior Radio does. The Pukwudgie.
Oh,
A creature
yes.
from Algonquin folklore. The local Wampanoag people consider them to be dangerous tricksters. They've been especially associated with the Freetown State Forest within the Bridgewater Triangle.
Yeah, we have stories of those up by me too.
Yeah.
Those things are, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're ever in the forest, it's one of those.
They are one of the many, many, many trickster tiny people in all the world's folklore.
Yes. These ones,
Yeah. They're basically
it-
the Fae.
they'll like untie your shoe, stuff like that.
So back when I first started the show, Clark posted in our Discord a picture that a friend of his took at a party that had no children or pets at the house because it was a grown-up party. And there is this thing blurred running in the background that is small. And some people said it looked like Dobby from Harry
The
Potter.
Harry Potter movies.
But it kind of looks like a cat standing on its hind, a ginger cat standing on its hind legs running. I think it looks like Mac from Mac and Me.
Somebody just got their Mac prop out.
Yep.
Oh, no.
I do not have that picture of the Puckwudgie anymore, but does everyone know what Mac looks like from Mac and Me?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
good.
if you haven't, that Mystery Science Theater episode is phenomenal from one of
Yes.
the new seasons. Please watch it.
Yes. And just for a refresher, I'm going to drag an image here. And we're going to post that there for everybody.
I will admit, as a local,
Oh,
when
I
it
can't
comes
do
to
it.
the cryptids, I don't have a lot of stories. I don't
Yeah.
think I haven't heard many. That's more for people that are doing investigations. The ones I hear are more ghost based, but I love them so much.
Right.
I want a Puckwudgie as a buddy.
I don't know that I want one as a buddy.
I do a little Puckwudgie on your side.
Not
Cause a little
really.
mischief.
Look
little
at
butt
the
mischief.
look at the face of Mac and tell me you want that hanging around you.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay, yeah.
I'd rather
fair.
have Alf hanging out, and I own cats.
That's fair. It's God, those cheeks
That was the worst McDonald's commercial ever.
It was a long one too.
so long.
God, but I don't know. I down here in my neck of the woods, we don't have anything like the bridge. Well, okay, we have the Golden Triangle in northern Mississippi, and the only
That doesn't sound like a paranormal thing. That sounds like a gross thing.
well,
that sounds like
yeah,
something you pay extra for.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you want Golden Triangle? No. The point is, it's Bigfoot territory. Which there's a guy we know who says every time he goes out in the woods, somebody throws rocks at him. And that's a thing that they say Sasquatch does, is he throws rocks at people like, go away. Get out of here. Get the fuck out. But my thing was, are we sure he's not just an asshole and his neighbors know it?
There it is. Yeah. I mean,
One of these things is more likely.
mhm.
It's-
look above for tree houses and disgruntled youth.
Yeah. Did you say a ute? No.
A ute.
Yeah. But we don't have a lot of real paranormal stuff down here except for ghosts. And we got a lot of dead people in Mississippi. Because the Northerners shot them.
Sorry, not sorry.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
sorry at all.
Like,
I mean, y'all have heard the story about my experience, right?
It hasn't been said on the show. I haven't.
it's been a while.
Okay, well, my family lived in Vicksburg for the first 9-10 years of my life, and my grandparents. Oh my God, there's a Puckwudgie crossing sign.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
That is awesome. Okay,
Oh,
the
yeah.
one on the sign, yeah, I want him hanging out with me. That's fine. That's different.
Well, buddy.
Yeah,
Little
he's
guy.
a little buddy with big old bulbous nose and long hair. Yeah, no, he's fine. So I would stay at my grandparents' every now and again when my mom and her mom were getting along. And it was an old school house surrounded by servants' houses.
Mm,
Yes.
We're gonna- You understand what I mean?
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Well, across the street was another really nice single-story house that belonged to my Aunt Patricia. And she died sometime in the 1930s. And the house had been unoccupied since then, but locked up tight. And every week they would go and check and make sure nobody had gone in. And the house was exactly as she left it the day she died.
Ooh. Eerie.
So I'd be sleeping in this house with like 12-foot ceilings with no furniture or electronics newer than like 1958. And this is like 86 or so. And I'd wake up in the middle of the night and it's quiet and kind of freaky. I'd get up and roam around the house and look at stuff. And I would go to the one window facing Clay Street and look out more or less at the stoplights. And you could see Aunt Letitia's house. Now, there's no lights or gas or water turned on at that house. So I would see her bedroom light turn on, and I could watch her get ready for bed. And then
Oh,
the light would turn out, and then I would go back and lay down and not sleep until the sun came up because I just saw someone who'd been dead since the 30s.
wow. That is terrifying.
Fuck
Yeah.
Vicksburg.
Is that
Yeah,
now?
we-
Did they ever give you a reason why they didn't sell the place? Because to me, that sounds like almost like there was something, some
Lee,
scary known in the family. That kind of. ghost.
I wish it was something cool like that. Everybody that wanted to buy the house was African American, and
Oh.
my step grandfather was a horrid old racist.
Oh, okay.
So the minute he
Oof.
died, my grandmother sold it, and it is now a law firm.
Oh,
So
Ghost law.
ghost law in
ghost
color.
law. Fight for your right as a ghost.
I mean, we had
Were you
growing up-
injured or killed in a nuclear accident?
Mesothelioma is a big problem with ghosts in our area.
But yeah,
growing up, we had my uncle's house.
yeah.
There was a ghost that only kids could see.
Oh wow,
Awful.
wow,
Tell me
pedophile
more.
ghost.
This is no, like, it was so fucking weird.
Yeah.
So we would I would go there, my cousin would go there and be like, they would hear us like by ourselves talking in another room with somebody, and we'd come back and like, who are you talking to? Oh, Charlie. He was just in there. We were talking to him. It's fine. There's nobody named Charlie here. So this is something like maybe one of us made it up and like told the other one or something. Like, okay. But then years later, my aunt, his sister, moved in and she had foster kids who did not speak to us, did not speak to each other. And they all talked to Charlie.
Ooh.
Like each and every one of them, without anybody saying, hey, there's an old man ghost here named Charlie or anything like that. They just all talked to Charlie.
That's fucked.
Kids are no joke, man.
It's
Ooh.
so weird.
Jesus.
As an adult now, I have a 4-year-old nephew, and this kid has the fucking Shining or some shit. 'Cause I do not like it. I love him so much, but some context, my childhood home was built in 1880s, and built by my ancestors, never been owned by anybody but one of my family members.
Right.
It would go Amityville so quick if we sold it to somebody else. And he's playing around, and he asked me, he's like, oh, pick me up. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And he looks like wide-eyed, scared down one of our darker hallways. I go, he calls me TT. We don't know why. Kids have a hard time saying Ruthann. Sure.
Okay.
It's like, TT, we need to go. I'm like, what do you mean, buddy? And he just points. He's just pointing down a hallway. We go to other room. And we have one room that's called the new room, which was built in 1984, which is the only part of the house that was renovated and not part of the original home. And that's where we have our TV and like our couches and stuff hang out. And so we get just over the threshold of where the house used to be, and he looks me dead in the eye and goes, that was a close one.
What
Close one
the
for
fuck?
What? Buddy. Everybody talks about random ghosts you have in my house.
Oh yeah, it's
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 just a
just-
nuisance.
Jesus.
And then we were playing like backgammon one day at my uncle's house, and one of the pieces just, you do like the flip. It just flipped on its own. Like I was looking for a thing to do a move, and he flipped the piece,
Jesus.
and it was the right move to make.
I love he got beat by a ghost backgammon ghost.
My uncle got beat by a backgammon ghost.
Harder to say. Try to say that a
Yeah.
couple times fast.
I know, right?
Has anyone else here had like the dead family kind of like scene thing? You know what I'm talking about?
Sort of.
Like in dreams.
Tell us yours.
I-
Do you have one?
No, like in person, like in
Yeah.
real time.
Oh no.
Sort of.
No,
Tell
no.
us your
A little
story.
bit.
I was like maybe like 5 or 6, and this was back when like you press a fucking trigger, race car goes around, it's amazing and shit.
Yeah.
Sure,
Slot
yeah.
cars. Love those things.
I was with my dad alone, but all of a sudden like something felt weird, almost like a time slip. But instead, I didn't know at the time, but it made like sense to me that like people just showed up, and it was like 4 people that I didn't know were dead. Because at this point, like I'm Mexican, I have a large ass like fucking family, and I didn't know who they were. And my dad bring him up, but to be fair, my dad's a certain way. So I was like, yeah, this is cool. They're just watching us play with race cars or whatever. And later on, I asked my dad like years later, and I was like, why did you say anything? I see pictures of these people, like you love your family, you would say something. And he was like, they're dead. Like that's my dead like uncle. Like those are dead people. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I saw them, like I didn't touch them, but they didn't say anything, didn't do anything. They were just sitting around, just watching us.
Dang.
Wow, just like chilling out, like, oh look, there's our great grandnephew playing with them race cars. Isn't that lovely? It's just
Yeah.
What's a
I had a
race car?
question. They had like older haircuts too, like just the frumpy hair, and
Yeah.
it was weird.
Oh,
Holy shit.
wow. Everybody has such like it's you prod just a little bit and everybody has a story.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah,
And I
everybody's
love
got
that.
something.
I love that.
Yeah, my whole family's a
have
freaking
one-
weirdness
Oh, sorry.
magnet. But go ahead. Go ahead. I want to hear more.
Years later, we went to like an apartment, and I had just heard about Bloody Mary. Y'all have known me for a bit, so I went to a bathroom, and I had my own room at the time, my own like bathroom, and I said it
Okay.
in the dark, and nothing happened, and I was like, fuck that. So I went to bed. Imagine like Star Wars like skywriting, but instead it's just like in front of your face, like you're in a video game and you're reading the like terms and conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
But it's this like obviously like ghostly voice, but it's a woman going, long ago my son and I whatever, and I was like maybe at this point like 9 or 10. I said skip. I said screw that. When I woke up, it's because something had slapped me. Like I've only been slapped maybe like twice in my life, but it hit me on my left side of the cheek. And you know how like Mickey Mouse wears like a glove like always?
Right.
It's
Sure.
like that white glove. Imagine without the like markings in the button or whatever. There was a hand like here, like I just like slapped like in the motion. It was solid, like it was like solid, like white, and I could only see the hand, and I saw it for like 3 seconds, and I just stared at it, and it just like no Thanos like wisping away, nothing. It was just here, and then it was just fucking. It was gone.
She was mad you skipped her fucking backstory, bro.
You little shit.
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude.
Even if that's sleep paralysis, that's buck wild.
Yeah,
Even
no,
if-
that's crazy, dude.
That's nuts.
The
leave us
closest.
with a banger, man.
Jesus.
Like that's awesome.
The closest I had was like shortly after my mom passed away. My dad was at work. I got off work before him as usual. I come home and I come in, shut the door, go to my room to take my shoes off, and I hear the back door open and shut and the microwave start. And I'm like, oh, Heyman's home, which I called my dad Heyman. I'm like, well, my dad's home. I'm like, wait a minute. He doesn't come home for another 2.5, 3 hours. And he doesn't know how to work the microwave. Microwave. That is a word that I am capable of saying, I promise. Microwave. Anyway, point is, the microwave's going. And I'm like, wait a fucking minute. So I come back in there, and The door's still shut. The door is shut because I heard it open and slam, and the microwave is set to like 80 minutes.
What?
And I said, I stood there for a second, and I'm like, y'all obviously know me. I'm a believer in weird shit. And I go, hey, Mama, I know you're worried about me, but I got this, okay? I can fend for myself. And the microwave turned off.
Oh.
Whoa.
I was like, I don't know whether to cry or shit my pants. So
Why not both?
I
could be
shit my
both.
eyes. I cried my
Oh.
pants. No. So
That's the most wholesome and ghost story I've heard in a while. That's so lovely.
it's nice. I'm glad it hasn't happened since.
Fair.
Because fuck that. Just in relation to my mom, when she died, my dad got the heaviest lead-lined coffin available to bury her in.
Oh.
And I never talked about my friends with it. My friends were the pallbearers at my mother's funeral because none of the family wanted to carry the casket because they were all fucking assholes. And then when my dad passed away, my friends were once again the pallbearers because my family is a bunch of assholes sometimes. And honestly, a lot of the people that were at my mom's funeral had already died. So,
Sure.
But the point is, we're sitting around at the service afterwards eating, and my friend Scott goes, hey man, look, I don't mean to like be weird, but your dad's casket was way lighter than your mom's, and your mom was like tiny. She was like a stick figure with an afro. And I said, I know. My dad got the heaviest coffin they made for my mom just on the off chance she came back.
Oh no! That is wild.
What?
And he also, when he was dying, he was laying there in the bed in a stupor, just didn't know where or when he was, and you know how it is at end of life stuff. Not to get somber, but he rolls over and he's vaguely aware that I'm in the room with him, and he says, where's your mama? I'm like, oh no, he doesn't know where he is, he doesn't know when he is, and I just very gently go, Heyman, she died 10 years ago. And he goes, oh, thank God! And that was the last thing he ever said to me.
Oh my god!
What?
Oh no! Buddy, my guy! I want to hug you through the fucking...
Yeah, dude, that is wow.
That is one of my favorite things. It's the last thing he ever said to me, and I treasure that memory.
You know, go out memorable.
Yep.
I guess.
Yeah, I
Go
guess
out
if I have to have last words, that's some hellacious ones to have.
Oh god. Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah,
God
I
damn.
kind of hope my last words are looking up at the ceiling and going, shit! And then die. Just point at the ceiling, go, shit! And die and leave them wondering what I saw.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
See. I want to go with. They're coming now, and then just drop.
Yeah.
And then just an hour of whatever family I have just shitting themselves, wondering who's gonna come through the door.
Dart, how about you? What do you want your last words to be?
It looks spicy.
I like that.
It looks spicy.
That is really open to interpretation. Kick-ass Tron, how about you?
Y'all seeing this?
Oh, that's awful. That's like, you may as well just go, another one.
I should say which
No.
time, but no.
Which time?
So good.
Yeah, or you're just laying there and you just, I don't have any money. Well, guys, this has been fun. Thank you so
This has
much
been
for
good.
being on the show. I need to have
Oh,
y'all back
definitely, man.
again.
Thanks for having. So fun.
So this has been on Supernatural Sources First. So if you're hearing this, you're hearing it after our patrons. So be sure to head over to patreon.supernatpod.rocks and you can join our Patreon and get bonus material like this. You can also find everything you need at supernatpod.rocks. Links to everything involving the show. Before we go, let's do some plugs. What is Kick-Astron besides Spooky Dice Bag? Where can we find Spooky Dice Bag first off?
Spooky Dice Bag. You can find Spooky Dice Bag on any of your favorite podcast catchers, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, all of them. Check me out on TikTok. I do daily rune readings,
Oh, cool.
shit like that. I have
Awesome.
I have an Etsy store where I try to sell those, but nobody buys.
Okay, you need to. I need a link to that then because I'm
Okay.
collecting weird shit.
Oh no, it's just rune readings. It's
Oh,
not-
okay, cool.
I mean, I can
Nonetheless,
sell you some small. I make spell bottles and stuff. I can make that for you, but
oh, that's
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, because I've got tarot cards
Want
on the
some?
way. That would be awesome.
I need some tarot cards.
Yeah, I
Oh,
found
well,
some from the
I-
UK.
We'll talk. I got.
Okay.
We'll talk.
I have a plan for. You cut this.
Yeah.
I have a plan for my TikTok, my daily TikTok thing
Ooh,
for April Fool's
cool.
Fool's Day,
Okay.
and I need a deck of tarot cards.
Well, we will cut
And we only
that.
have Oracle and Lenormand in the house.
Okay. And also this is gonna be cut too. I have a deck of Weight Rider cards coming in from the UK with like a custom made box for them
Oh hell
with
yeah!
like a moon symbol in it and everything.
I have a tarot problem. I have so many beautiful decks. I will share some pictures in our
Oh,
group
please
later.
do.
It's a problem. I love them so much.
Oh, that's
Anyway.
awesome. All right. Well, we will we will continue to have a link to Spoosy Dipe Bag.
You're on the podcast.
I am
Yeah.
on the show. Spooky Dice Bag. My God, I need a Coca-Cola. So, you can find that. Ooh, a bag. We will have a link again in the show notes permanently to Spooky Dice Bag. Ruth Ann, do you have anything you want to plug?
Other than our show, you can also find me on TikTok at Ruth Ann Beverly. I do nothing. I just little shenanigans, some millennial level, nostalgia, some mental health stuff, some D&D stuff. That's we just have fun over there.
Some music stuff.
some music stuff. In the future, we'll see what comes out. But right now, follow me on socials that way and on Twitter, and whatever new projects come up at Ruth Ann Beverly. Open for all sorts of shenanigans.
Woo! And Dart, is there anything you'd like to plug?
Add me on Insta. I think it's just Ace Angle, so like an underscore. There's nothing on there yet, but I want to add photography and like music really soon.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. All right. And again, supernatpod.rocks for all your supernatpod needs. Remember, Enrique loves you, and he says, which again means, if at first you don't succeed, you've done it wrong. So, and that's it for now. We'll see you next time. So until then, stay safe and stay frosty. Goodbye. Meow. Meow, 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 meow.
Animal noises.
Cat sounds. Woof. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I work with animals.
Yeah, you should know this the best.